Okay, part two. So we talked about inspiration. We talked about inhaling, bringing air into your thoracic cavity, into your lungs by increasing the volume, right? Which decreases the pressure. So let's talk about the opposite. So now we're going to talk about expiration or exhalation, so forcing air out. So for this one, the opposite is true. So for this one, we want to squeeze this thoracic cavity smaller and smaller. So just think when you hug somebody really tight, you're like, you can squeeze all the air right out of them. So we have to think in our head, like, what muscles are going to help us squeeze air out of our body? So let's start with our diaphragm. Remember, we said this is relaxed, this is contracted. If the diaphragm is relaxed, it's making, right? It's making the volume smaller. So if I have this diaphragm underneath our skeleton here, and if we squeeze it up, right, it's going to push air out. So the diaphragm actually is relaxed in this situation. The other thing we want to have relaxed are the exterior intercostals, right? If you remember before, the exteriors, when they contract, they pull everything up and out, making the space larger, more volume. So now they're just not doing anything. They're just like, okay, I'm out of the picture here. I'm not involved. I'm only involved in inspiration, inhalation. Exhalation, that's the other people's responsibility. And the other people are the internal intercostals. So it's kind of hard to believe that there's muscles on the outside and muscles on the inside that can really make a difference in the volume. But it is. That's how it works. So inside, behind these ribs, there are muscles. I'm going to bring my hand out, pretend these are my ribs. When they contract, they pull the ribs down and in. So it's opposite. It's opposite of our external, where they brought them out and up. These are going to bring it down and in. So that just makes this area smaller and smaller. So that's going to force air out. The other one, tighten your abs, right? If you squeeze your abs in, you can feel that area getting smaller, and that's also going to push air out. So these two muscles, when they contract, that is going to push air out because the volume will decrease, causing the air pressure to increase. And if you remember, air wants to move from high pressure to low pressure to balance it. And then we have a balanced pressure. So that's how the mechanism